Hey everyone, it's been a few weeks since my last video. I've just been super busy with lots of different things. Just thought I'd do a video make sure I do a video this week, which is a little bit more clinical, and share with you about the time I was taken into A&E a few weeks ago. So on the 4th of October of this year, I was taken to A&E by mum and dad on a referral from the doctor. I'd woken up in the morning. We just got back from Woolacombe on the Monday. I'd been to rehearsals for a show I'm doing next month. I was absolutely fine. About 8 o'clock in the morning, which is quite early for me, I woke up major like stomach cramps in my lower and upper abdomen area. I thought they might have just been really bad cramps, so I was like, okay, well, just get a hot water bottle on it, it'll be okay. It was not okay, because by 10 o'clock I'd been sick, and because of where the tumour sat, if I'm sick, everything else opens up. So I ended up having what they call DMV, which is diarrhea and vomiting, which I've never really suffered from. I had a bit in whilst I was having my proton beam therapy, but other than that, I'm not one for being sick, having diarrhea, things like that. So we were a little bit alarmed with what was going on, just because it came on so quickly and so suddenly. It's not like I'd had an Indian or Chinese the night before. So we were like, okay, we need to get me checked out. So mum was on her own, bless her. She managed to get me up to the doctor's. I'd gone really cold because I just emptied everything. I was completely empty. I had no energy, nothing. The doctor was great, the GP. Mum rang them. We got in, they saw us right away. She did my blood pressure. It was a little low, but it was my heart rate, which was of major concern because at resting it measured 145. So I was referred to as tachycardic, a phrase I've only ever really heard on Grey's Anatomy. Once you hear a piece of like medical jargon, your mind goes into what's wrong. You're gonna have to go into A&E. We didn't really want to go, but she was like, you need to go because of everything else as well. We just want to be extra safe. So that was absolutely fine. We got into A&E about 2:15. I'd rang ahead to my nurses and said, look, I'm on my way to A&E. I've had DMV all morning. We don't know quite what's wrong. It's just come on all of a sudden. They were fantastic. Hannah was brilliant. She met me down in A&E, although I was like still in out of consciousness, but it was okay. She was phenomenal. She was getting my admission forms and updating them, just writing notes saying I'd had PBT, what my diagnosis was and all of that. She'd gotten hold of oncology ward in case I needed to be admitted to try and free up a bed for me or see if there was a bed available. I got triaged after about 2 hours wait. I got triaged, which 2 hours at the moment is not that long considering, but that waiting room filled up very quickly. They triaged me, did bloods. No sooner had I been put back in the waiting room, I got called in by the doctor and I was put into a room. So the doctor came in. He was very interested in my condition, which I half expected. It's a 1 in a million cancer, so it's going to draw some interest. But they did a full, as mum called it, they did a full MOT. They did full blood work and cultures, complete kind of examination. They did a chest x-ray. They put in a catheter just so they could monitor urine output and kidney function, which was all okay. They did this because they simply wanted to cover all bases of what it was. They were very honest, which is what I like. They said so it could be an infection which has caused this. It could be a reaction from having radiotherapy. It could be a twisted bowel. It could be scar tissue rubbing together from the radiotherapy rubbing together. There was a lot of options it could be because of having treatment for cancer. They still not quite, they can't say 100% sure what it was, but everything, all the evidence suggests and points to that it was simply an infection. The reason they had to keep me in overnight was because of some of the levels that came back, one of which was my lactate level. It's to do with oxygen, red blood cells and oxygen reaching all of your organs and like kind of flushing them out. So you have lactic acid and it should be very, very low. It should be like below 1. Mine was at 2.9, which is worryingly high. But luckily 2.5 bags of fluid later, IV fluid, even though for 2 of those bags they were hooked to a door hinge because unfortunately the NHS is in desperate times. They didn't have enough IV stands, so it was hooked to a door. They eventually found one for my last half a bag. I felt much better in the morning. So altogether we spent 19 hours in A&E at Derriford. So following on from my stay in A&E, I saw my oncologist, Dr. Pamwa, because I've been admitted. They like to have a follow-up just to make sure everything's okay and there's been no kind of add-ons and that you are feeling better. So I knew that was coming, so I'd seen him, I think I saw him about 2 weeks later. Everything was fine. They ordered some bloods because they wanted to make sure all those levels had balanced back out again and were fine. I'd had bloods and cultures done the morning of my discharge, which is why I was able to go. But they just wanted to double check that everything was okay. He reiterated he's pretty sure it was an infection, but they're going to just let London know anyway. So kind of the next stage, as long as I don't fall ill again, will be my MRI, which is coming up in a few weeks. I was given a date, but I've had to change that because I'm actually away for my friend Jazz's birthday weekend, which I'm super excited about, and I'm sure that'll be the next video. Will show you all about that. So that's something really exciting to look forward to. November itself is going to be a super busy month with birthdays, show, it'll be nearly Christmas, so lots of exciting things to kind of hopefully take my mind off the last, I was about to say the last month, but probably the last year. That's kind of everything really. I mean, it's been very clinical, this video, so apologies if it's been a bit boring. Hopefully the next one's going to be a lot more fun. Super excited. So yeah, thanks for, if you're still here, thanks for listening and see you next time.